Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This lecture is an extension of the previous class discussion on the European integration in the 1970s, covered by Chapter 8 of your textbook. But before we discuss Chapter 8 and the period of 1970s in the European integration, I would like to present you the three main international factors that had huge impacts on the European construction or European integration during the 1970s. The first international factor was the collapse of international monetary system, which the collapse started actually in 1971 by the U.S. President Richard Nixon's decision to temporary suspension of the US dollar convertibility to gold. And then later, after like 2 years, the whole system collapsed and the gold base ended. The second international factor was the oil crisis of 1973, and what was that crisis all about, but was followed by a second oil crisis or shock in 1979 because of the Iranian Revolution and the decreasing of oil of oil output in the market. And the third and the most important factor that had huge impacts on the European integration in the 1970s was the global economic crisis. The global economic downturn, best known as stagflation, which was a combination of low growth and high inflation. What was the impact of these three international factors on the European integration? Well, the pace of European economic integration slowed down. There was no advance in the political field. Now, let's discuss the 1970s in the history or in the evolution of the European integration. The 1970s is often portrayed as decimal decade, as a dark age in the history of the European integration. Why? Well, the European Committee experienced severe problems as it digested Britain's accession to the EC. The EC was hit by the global economic downturn, as I just mentioned. The whole European integration process experienced what some scholars would call neurosclerosis, which is a combination between sluggish economic growth and institutional inability. So it was, all in all, it was a hard phase in the European integration. However, during the 1970s, the EC or the European Community developed in important ways. The European Court of Justice generated an impressive body of case law that boosted the community model, as I explained it in class. Second, the European Community or the EC, the economic community, coped with the challenges of enlargement. It was the Britain's accession to the EC was very, very difficult. But the EC actually managed to cope with the challenges of the British membership, and also it managed to cope with the breakup of the international monetary system and the consequences of slower economic growth, not only in European countries but all over the world. So we've got here mixed development. Mixed developments took place in the 1970s. This is why the chapter rejects the notion that the 1970s was a decimal decade or a dark age in the history of the European integration and describes it as a transitional period. So the 1970s was a transitional period between the launch of the community in the 1960s with the Rome treaties and the merger treaties of 1967 and the acceleration of the European integration in the 1980s, more important with the adoption of the Single European Act, which established later on uh, 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 the European community market and stuff. So, I mean, the common perspective of 1970s in the history of the European integration proved to be inaccurate. Let's discuss in some detail the main issues covered by Chapter 8 on European integration in the 1970s. The discussion throughout the chapter served serves the main purpose of the chapter, which was to prove that the 1970s in the history of European integration was not a decimal decade, was not about age. So the common perspective on the 1970s in the history of European integration proved to be inaccurate. The first issue discussed in this chapter is the Hague Summit, held in December 1969 after the resignation of the French President Charles de Gaulle. The aim of the Hague Summit was to relaunch the European integration. Its three main objectives: completion, widening, and deepening of the European integration. The EC was successful in achieving the first two objectives, I mean completion and widening, but achieved little success uh, with regard to the third objective, which was deepening of the European integration. Many details actually in this chapter uh, discuss how the European integration or how the EC and member states were successful in achieving the completion and widening objectives of the Hague Summit. On completion, for example, the member states agreed on a separate EC budget and granted the European Parliament a role in passing the EC budget. On widening, the EC passed successfully the first enlargement, and it was very hard, the Britain accession to the European, to the economic community in 1973, and the first enlargement paves the way to, many rounds of enlargements later in the 1980s and 1990s and even after that. On meeting the European integration achieved or showed limited success. How come? First of, member states and the EC couldn't agree on on a unified European monetary system. We will discuss this in some detail when we shed some more light on the evolution of the European monetary system. The second was, the limited success achieved in the regional policy. And you will find many details in your chapter on the regional policy. But you know what? Even though there was limited success on the regional policy, it paved the way for adopting a more uh, developed and advanced and extensive regional policy later on in the 1980s and the 1990s, and the establishment of the European Committee of Region later. The second issue discussed in this chapter was the establishment of the European Political Cooperation, EPC, as it goes, in 1970. The purpose of EPC was to coordinate foreign policies of member states. As a matter of fact, or as little, this step was, it paved the way for the development of a common foreign policy of the European Union later on in the 1990s after the adoption of the Maastricht Treaty in 1992. But you know what? Even though during the 1970s there were substantive success than failure concerning uh, coordinating foreign policies of European countries. For one thing, there was a common position uh, toward the Middle East, because the Middle East at that time, experienced, high level of conflict, the 1973 war, and the Arab-Israeli conflict was hot and everything. And member state, member states of the EC developed a position towards the Palestinian issue. And there was, they developed actually a cohesive voting in the United Nations. And now we, uh, we've got a cohesive voting group in the United Nations formed by the member states of the EC. So the ETC experience in 1970 proved or achieved some substantive or success than failure. The third topic discussed in this chapter was the role of the European Court of Justice in boosting the European integration in the 1970s, and we discussed this in details in this. The fourth issue discussed by Chapter 8 was the British accession to the EC in 1973. And you remember we covered this when we uh, studied the case study of the British question in the European integration since the early 1950s till the Brexit of January 2020. Another issue discussed by this chapter, and I just referred to it, was regional policy. There was limited success on this front, but it paved the way for more development in the 1980s and 1990s. And then um, another important issue discussed by this chapter was the breakup of the monetary system, I mean the international monetary system and the European even monetary system proved failure during the 1970s, but and we will shed some more light on this particular issue when we discuss the case of the evolution of the European monetary system. Um, Another issue discussed by this chapter, and here some positive developments of the European construction, the role of the European Council and the role of European Parliament and the holding of European elections in 1979. So now let's discuss in some detail or let's focus on the whole impact of the 1970s on the European integration. First off, the 1970s, to be sure, was not a decimal decade or a dark age in the history of the European Union. All in all, the achievements or the developments of the European integration in the 1970s was mixed. Yes, there was absence of important decision-making moments during the 1970s, but you know what? The 1970s, and this is discussed in your chapter in the conclusion, page 187 and 188. So, in the conclusion, the chapter discuss or focus in some detail on the mixed outcome of the 1970s regarding the European integration. Absence of important decision-making moments during the 1970s, absence of major developments uh, in the 1970s. But you know what? The EEC persisted with some initiative despite an unfavorable environment and the development or the favorable development of the European integration in the 1980s might be worth tracing their roots to the 1970s, and this is discussed in some detail in the conclusion. So all in all, I mean, the outcome of the 1970s was mixed.